What if I tell you entrepreneur, lumberjack, investing, hat, beard, muscular, USA, acquisition, almost billionaire? What comes to your mind? YouTuber.
YouTuber with beard.
Yeah. Muscular.
Oh, okay. He started running a gym company.
Yes. I mentioned those traits, right? And you pretty much immediately connect those traits to that person.
Yeah.
Okay? The reason behind that is because he's built a brand with associations to those traits.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna do with yourself and Skateboard Shop, your company, we're going to create associations with your company so that people can connect. As soon as they think about those traits, they can connect with the company.
Yeah.
And the other way around as well. When they think about the company, they also think about the traits that the company has.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
essentially, this is going to be about giving a face and a mission and a goal and some brand outliers to the company.
Yeah.
So, of course, I know you, I know myself, and I'm going to be a big part of this content journey on the channel. I'm going to be one of the faces of the content structure in the company. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to fill out what I call the brand sheet of the company. So in your case, it's gonna be a company, but it is absolutely applicable to create any brand and any person wanting to build a brand online to promote their product, coaching service, and whatnot. I thought about some common associations that we could just double down on in our content. We could just be a bit more intentional to make these traits pop out, and again create these associations for people to resonate with your personality, my personality, and the brand mission, the company goal, and everything. So I think one of the outliers is gonna be our accents, our Italian accents.
Yep.
So instead of trying to hide our accents and whatnot, we should again make it one of our brand outliers. Again, it's something that people could associate ourselves with. So they think about the company, and people mention Skateboard Shop, and we want to create this association of them thinking, oh yeah, the two guys making online videos with that European accent. Right? So that's one of the things that we should focus on. Another thing that, again, I spent some time with you and with other folks you are usually toiling with, and one thing that really always comes up is funny moments, authentic, raw moments like sarcasm and all these little things. I think that we should really take that into content because, again, especially with AI and all these tools coming up, we want to be as authentic as possible, as realistic as possible, right? We don't want to, at least in my opinion, we don't want to be corporate and this is the product, the good for this or that.
Yeah.
We want to make it more enjoyable. And again, just put yourself in the shoes of the viewer. They want us, yes, consume the video, a bit of entertainment and gather knowledge, but at the same time, again, it's more about entertainment. We are selling people the vehicle for them to have fun. So what's the point of being super corporate? Because again, even if they're watching a video talking about the product, yes, they want to see the product and whatnot, and they want to understand more about it. But really, what I want to see is, again, just enjoyable moments, just like the ones that they experience when they are in the water. So that's going to be really important. And one thing that I think is going to be super easy to implement and everything, even the camp we had in June and everything, like the self-roasting moments and roasting each other, having this connection, that's something that we need to definitely, again, implement. And this is going to be about being ourselves as much as possible on camera.
Yeah.
And just let this come across and move away from this conception where you need to be corporate when you're in front of the camera. Just be super easygoing and exactly as you are when you are with your friends and with your mates.
But imagine that when you need to be different, instead of being yourself, even your effort will be higher and you will be less motivated to do content. Because it's something that makes you fatigue a lot. No, every time you need to be really focused to represent yourself in that way is a different process. But being yourself in the best way as possible, it's important because it's something that the people on the other side will feel immediately.
It's more authentic, connect better, and the message comes across, and they consume more content as a consequence. Also, even for us, it's gonna be easier to create content because we actually enjoy it. Because we don't have to put a mask when we turn on the camera. Even creating little skits, like imagining a person seeing this for the first time, and you create the skit to put at the beginning of the video to really resonate with what people think as soon as they think the foil, they see the foil. And then you transition and you actually explain it's actually good. Despite your first impression, it's actually good. When it comes to the foil formats that I thought about for content. One of the formats is, I would say product aware reviews. So people know about that product and they expect a review when the product goes out. So timing in that case is going to be really important. And in that case, yes, the title could be review XX. But like you said, what we should really focus on is also product unaware videos. So for example, there is a product that is not super well known. There's not a lot of hype around that product. So what we can do in that case is, okay, we don't say review X because nobody else is gonna click in the video because they don't even know about the product.
Yeah.
But like this wing just blew up, just completely changed the wing market, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, again, going back to the associations, another thing that people can connect the company with is the fact that we are in almost a landlocked place. Like Bergamo is like super far from the city. Like, we're driving now for hours to go to the city, but we have Lake Como and Lake Garda, lovely places. So again, one thing that we could do is it's gonna come natural, right? But by recording videos in Lake Como and Lake Garda, people are gonna create an association. Oh yeah, Kite Workshop, those guys making videos in Lake Como and Lake Garda. So another positive association that we need to make.
Yeah, Italy is one of the best country, or is the first in mind for traveling for a lot of people around the world. So we will have a huge scenarios around us.
Yeah, and then it's also going to be about making into the videos our traits and personalities and morals and interests that are not related to water sports. Because again, we're going to build a company personal brand, let's say. So we want to again show people that we're actually human. We're not just foil, because that's not how people are, right? Yes, they are passionate about foiling and water sports in general, but it's not all what their life is about. So we're both really passionate about entrepreneurship. So we need to let that come across in content as well. We are both hardworking. We're both working 12 hours days every day, pretty much. So again, we want to let all these things come across. We eat healthy. We are not materialistic, despite the fact I'm not even close to your level, but we are both entrepreneurs and we're both above our standards for our age, let's say.
Yeah.
But despite that, we don't show off. We're not materialistic. And again, even people who are not entrepreneurs are gonna appreciate these traits and are gonna resonate or not with these traits. So these are all common associations between the company, yourself, and myself. And then I also listed down some associations that you want people to associate yourself to. And then of course associations for myself and for the company, so separately. So until now we kind of listed the common associations, and then I also would like to again create a small personal brand for yourself within the company. So people think about Kite Workshop and they think about you. So again, it's not about the company, it's about a person behind the company. So it's much stronger because people resonate and connect with people, not with entities.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna be again the next few years are gonna be about giving a face and some morals and a personality to the company, so that it's not just an entity, it's actually almost a person. But yeah, when it comes to your associations, I think that you are a serial entrepreneur, a self-made millionaire, father and husband, and parrowing master. Parrowing goes in the Italian space. So
okay.
What else are some of your traits and morals that you would like people to associate yourself to?
I think that probably I'm first of all really passionate about products, and this is something that really transparent. It's really clear that I'm
junkie, like.
Yeah, I'm really, when sometimes new arrive in the office or in the warehouse, I'm start freaking out because I have to open it and touch it and test it. I really love products, so I'm really obsessed about technology, about evolution of the sport and so on. And I think that I'm old in some way. It means that it's something that we can use to joke a little bit, even in our videos, because you are the youngster.
Exactly. I think it's in my list. The contrast.
Yeah.
We have the product guy a little older, and then we have the youngster.
Yeah, that has a little bit more experience. So there's this kind of trade-off between being energetic and young and being. Yeah. They are all young guys. They are making huge jumps and something like that.
People don't really resonate, and that's the key. One of our angles, one of our strengths is that we are not pro riders. We are average riders.
Yeah.
And people are gonna resonate more and better with that because again we're closer to them.
Yeah.
It's gonna make more sense. So that's gonna be one of our angles. So instead of trying to be pros, we're gonna double down on the fact that we are not pros and we are more like them, so they can better resonate and they say, okay, like it works for him. who's at my level might work for myself as well. And you see really the difference between who's actually able to create a strong personal brand and who's just showing off. Before, like you said, you just create videos to please yourself. People, maybe they like you. Maybe you have some viral videos because they see, oh, look at this guy, he's able to do this.
But in the long term,
it's a personal brand because they can't resonate with you. But instead, if you show your failures, your crashes, and all these things, yes, maybe you're not gonna go viral, but the connection that you're going to create with people that are consuming your content is much stronger. We're going to include in the video, so I'm gonna show you later the framework that I designed for reviews and whatnot, and so we're gonna include some raw reactions. Okay, and of course, if it's raw as a raw reaction, maybe because I'm speaking English all day long, sometimes I swear in English because that's just my brain. I'm thinking in English. But in your case, you're probably not thinking in English. So those raw reactions, we want to capture them in Italian. Because they're just more authentic. And then I came up with some company associations. So I remember one thing that you told me, which I found pretty funny, and also people might find pretty funny, which is I don't hire water sport junkies because they want to go in the water and they don't work. Right?
Yes, absolutely true.
Perfect. So
it's absolutely true.
If we can, just let that come across every now and again in the videos, that's something people are gonna find funny. And another trait that I really like, that we talked about in the podcast we recorded before, is the fact that you have youngsters in the company. That's again something that people can associate the company with. Let me buy from Kiteboard Shop because I know that behind the company, the company is run by youngsters, and especially because the market is like 50 years old, 60 years old. So those people like giving back to the youngsters. So again, that's another positive trait, positive association.
But there's another thing that you have to take in consideration is the fact that when people seeing that a company is mostly run by really young people, this means that the company will be there even in 10 years, 20 years, because there's a lot of companies which are run just from the owners, which is an old man like 15 or 60, and definitely there will be no future for that company. So the fact that the team is really young makes the company more healthier and more foolproof.
And also the way we dress can be another contrast. You're having like I'm probably 50 years old, and then I'm people like surfer, skateboarder style. It's gonna be just the perfect combo. So these were pretty much brand identity side of things. Now, when it comes to content, so content is the combination of 5 things: topics, and in our case, we don't have to come up with topics because the topics, the foils, right? Or so the product that we are reviewing is a topic, or the products that we are comparing are the topic. So topic is the easy part. Whilst in other niches, for example, if you are a coach, then you need to come up with topics to talk about in your content. The second component of content is formats.
Formats.
You need a format to package this topic. Then you need angles. What is an angle? An angle is how you attack the piece of content. So for example, if you are creating a video around a product, let's say that it's a wing that is good for beginners. So you're gonna wanna use an angle that resonates with beginners. So the angle could be, if you're looking for the easiest wing on the market, this one is for you. Okay, so that's an angle. So you have a topic, you have an angle, and we have a format. Then what we need is brand outliers and association, which is what we did. And the fifth part is a framework. So once you have a topic, once you have a format, once you have an angle, brand outliers and associations, and a framework, then it's extremely easy to create content, right? Because then it's all about grabbing the topic and the format. So you grab the format, and the format is gonna have a framework. So each format is gonna have a framework. For example, we're gonna have the framework for reviews, the framework for comparisons. So you grab format and framework, you put the topic in it, you add some angles, you chunk some brand outliers and associations in, and you have the video, right? So people always overcomplicate content, but when you compartmentalize it this way, it's so easy, because angles, they're pretty much always the same, and you can find angles by spending time with the community. So you spend time with wing foilers, and you understand what people resonate with, and what triggers them, what pain points they have, what desires they have, what struggles, so it's quite easy to come up with angles. Topics, like I said in our case, it's super simple. Format is something that you usually find by looking at your competitors, but most importantly, and that's something that I do very often with all my clients, is instead of looking at what competitors in the same niche are doing, because we want to lead the market, want to become leaders in that industry, what we do is we look for formats in more sophisticated and competitive niches. For example, our niche, this niche is pretty immature. So what we do, instead of looking for formats, for example, that Kitmana or other competitors are doing, what we can do is, let's look at what Andrea Galeazzi or other big in the cars industry or tech industry are doing. Perfect. They're doing a review with this format. why don't we use the same format that is proven to work in our niche that is immature? We're gonna rip.
There's a lot of example of people that are making really complex videos, spending hours, ton of hours, but you don't need to, because you have to stick on your purpose, which is bring information to people, make the people more aware about something. So, and you don't need to do something as a Casey Neistat style, because you are not Casey Neistat, and it's almost impossible to replicate that.
Somebody else. Just let your true personality come across in content.
Yeah.
Because if you just try and be somebody else, you're never gonna be authentic, and people are gonna sense that. Like, you can feel straight away when you watch a video if someone is actually themselves in camera or not. And that's one of the reasons why sneaky videos, so videos recorded by mistake, are usually performing much better than scripted videos, because people see the authenticity behind it.
Yeah.
They're just more attractive. It's just more attractive. Again, when it comes to angles, it's gonna be easy to find them. We just, again, spend time with people and see what they like, what they struggle with, which pain points they have, which desires they have, so we can use those. And also, I think this is going to be pretty cool, and we can use AI to do that. If we could, like, I'm not sure, maybe you've already done it, but maybe you fed AI with all the reviews, and we can ask AI, okay, based on all the reviews, thousands of reviews we got on our website, what's the biggest desire, what's the biggest pain point, what's the biggest struggle or struggles or pain points or desires that our customers are facing? And then also, what's the thing that people like the most about the company? Boom, another angle. And all these things, we're gonna include them in our videos to just make the message more powerful. And that's what angles are about. Because if you just start talking about the topic straight away without thinking critically how you're gonna package the value that you're gonna provide, it's not gonna be as powerful. Then content ideas, of course, reviews, of course, comparisons. But again, we need to think, like you said, a bit outside of the box. Like I said earlier, maybe in some cases we're gonna focus on having the name, the product in the title, but it's gonna be probably a few times, because that only works when there is a lot of hype around the product. Otherwise, it's just better, like you said, to say, like, to have a thumbnail with you holding the board, and the board is like blurred, you can't see the board, and then the title is the lightest board on the market. And people are gonna click it. It's gonna click it. So I think that this is something that makes videos working way better, because there's a content which is different compared on what they expect. Because if there's unit reviews, they say, I already saw the review from other guys, so no problem, I don't need it. I know the specs, I know what you're gonna say about the board. You, with the title and thumbnail combination, especially on YouTube, you want people to at least come up with 3 questions. So as soon as they see the title and thumbnail, they need to start thinking. So what's that? Like, why? You need to create. It's not just about curiosity. It's about making them think. The whole point of content is not to just provide value for the sake of providing value, but provide value to solve some pain points or problems they have for free. And when you solve problems for people, guess what happens? More problems arise, and guess where they're gonna go to solve those new problems? For you. And at that point, that's when they're gonna pay you. And that works for coaches, but works also for brands, because you're selling different products, and yes, you can create tutorials to solve people's problem and like us more because we made literally their life better, but also with products, because if you do a comparison and they choose a product after that comparison and they love the product, they're gonna be like, fuck, that guy made me do the perfect choice. If I hadn't watched that video, I wouldn't have gotten this board, and I wouldn't have I wouldn't enjoy this much the time on the water.
They will be grateful about this.
Exactly. So that's a good point. We need to provide value in that way.
Even podcast may be a good
I'm not a huge fan of podcasts, but bringing, especially at the beginning,
bringing people from the industry, that's important.
Bringing big names from the industry, that's gonna be extremely valuable. And the thing is, like you said many times, we are in a wonderful position to grow a YouTube channel and an Instagram account because of the name you've created for yourself and for the company. You have access to pretty much everybody in the industry, and everybody's gonna say yes. Even if the channel is small, because if you have a podcast and nobody gives a fuck about you, and you ask them, hey, do you want to jump on a podcast? Well, you have no following, and nobody cares about you. Why would I waste my time coming to you? But because you have your name, people are gonna be more likely to say yes, even at the beginning when the channel is not gonna be massive, because still it's just the fact that they are creating a connection with you might bring them something in the future, so it's more likely for them to accept. So podcasts, like interviews and whatnot. One thing that we could do is gonna be, in my opinion, one of the first videos we should create. I mean, it also depends on the weather and everything, but again, doubling down on our brand outliers. The fact that we are in northern Italy, beautiful Lake Como and Lake Garda, we could create a video that is like a little documentary about foiling in Lake Como, and the title could be Lake Como, the hidden foiling gem in the middle of Europe. And then the video, is gonna be a mixture of super cinematic Netflix documentaries type of shots, and then like fucking Enzo of palm foiling and falling and whatnot, right? So that's gonna be something really cool. So again, people create this association with the brand and Lake Como and the community, the Wingles, and it's just gonna be super cool in my opinion. Then foil trips, so the best foil spot in Europe, and you go to Portugal and whatnot.
And even events or product presentation, something like that.
That's a great point. One of the things that I noted down when it comes to formats, what we have to do is focus on brand outliers, that's for sure, but focus on what people can't do or haven't done before. So what people can do, for example, like you said, having access to the what's it called, the thing in Hood River.
Yeah, the EWSI. Yeah.
Exactly. So those are things that we need to do because we're gonna be literally the only ones able to do that. Or massive comparisons. How many people have access to pretty much every single board in the market? Nobody. So what we can do is like a massive comparison. Because the thing is, like, especially at the beginning, one of the ways you build a YouTube channel is by focusing on videos that people haven't done yet. So usually people, what they do is like, oh yeah, let me recreate this viral video because it performed for this person. No, fuck that. Especially on YouTube, especially when the channel is small. Let me create a video that nobody has ever done before. Because if you do that, people are gonna choose that video for the specificity of your video. So the thing is, when people go on YouTube is like, you can choose what video to watch. On Instagram, you are just fed pieces of content. On YouTube, you get to choose. And because you get to choose, the amount of views your video has and the amount of subscribers you have plays a role. So how can you get views when you don't have the trust and authenticity and authority given by you having views and subscribers? The way you do that is by being the only person doing that video, because now they're gonna choose your video not because of the amount of subscribers and views you have, but because your video is the only one there with solving the exact problem or giving the exact information. These are pretty much the things, and even vlogs, like event vlogs, like you said.
Yeah, and I think that sneak peek may be really, really sexy.
Insider news, exactly.
Yeah, man, like having the products before the launch and testing it and prepare for the day of the launch. Just going out with the video the exact same day of the launch with the test and everything is something that makes a huge difference, I guess, because it's a very few YouTubers that are making this kind of anticipation on products, and it works in other industry like cars or especially mobile phone and something like that. They are testing it a week before.
When they have the product before the launch, they go crazy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's something that we can arrange with some brand.
Like I said, when it comes to formats, we need to focus on what people don't have access to, what normal people can't do. That's why it's gonna be so easy, in my opinion, to get this YouTube channel and Instagram account, because we have things that people don't have access to and need and want to see.
Yeah.
And then one thing that makes content easy is finding formats that are replicable and easy to create and actually, of course, work. So you need these three things. You need a format that works, is simple to create, and is repeatable. Okay.
Yep.
So for example, and then so that you can come up with a framework that you can use over and over.